Hey all, I welcome you all to Bhadra Academy. So in this session, basically we are going to discuss this topic which is mentioned in CUET syllabus, that is about the role of WTO in international trade, right? WTO's, what is the exact role that WTO has in international trade? Now, we know that what do you mean by international trade? Trade between different countries internationally is called international trade, right? But the question stands, what is WTO? WTO stands for World Trade Organization. Let's discuss about that. What World Trade Organization was. Say, basically, before World Trade Organization, there was an establishment called GATT, that is General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. In 1995, the World Trade Organization was predominantly established, and if you see the date, yes, it was 1st January 1995, the headquarter of which is at Switzerland. That is, in Switzerland there's a place called Geneva. Yes, that is the headquarter of WTO, which has around 160 plus member countries, which represents undoubtedly more than 95% of the world trade that happens in between the world, right? What is the objective of WTO? If it is the objective, yes, in order to promote free and fair trade among all the countries in between, World Trade Organization's institution has been made. Now, the question stands, what are the different functions of WTO? Let's talk about it one by one. First function is trade liberalization. Trade liberalization in the sense that, for example, there's the trade taking place between different countries, and of course, if the tariff rates are quite high, then it becomes very much impossible for the businessman to business, right? So tariff rates needs to be reduced, right, or optimized. So what does this WTO does is that they have makes the structure which helps in reducing the tariff, reducing the quota, as well as non-tariff barriers. Not only this, they also encourages open and competitive market for all, right? Next, implementation of trade agreements is also one of the work of WTO, wherein they administers the global trade agreement, whether it be GATT, whether it be GATS. GATS is for services, basically, not only goods, right? Next is TRIPS, is basically has been made for intellectual property rights, right? So these are also the surveillance sector of it. Dispute settlement is also one of the work of this WTO, wherein they provide the platform in order to resolve the trade disputes among the member countries through a structured a mechanism. So yeah, these are things. And next is monitoring and transparency, means they regularly reviews the national trade policies because they want to ensure that WTO's compliances is being made on them, right? Not only this, if I talk about capacity building, yes, they do work very much so that like the least, basically the underdeveloping countries or least developing countries can get assisted from them, right? So they basically provide technical cooperations and training for them as well. Now the question also stands that what does the WTO's role is there for international trade, because that is what our topic is, right? So let's see their role in international trade. If I talk about, yes, undoubtedly throughout the international mechanism they promote predictability, because see, this is something that every country requires, is predictability, right? And that is what's being provided here, right? So stable and transparent trading rules basically undoubtedly provides like boost up investors confidence as well. If there is a predictable mechanism in any country for that matter, you will see that investors do come there, right? They do invest there, right? Why the investment had in India has increased many folds? Because the investors are observing that no, the policies are quite predictable there, right? Next is it encourages globalization. Yes, it facilitates integration of national economies worldwide. Not only that, through the different global economies as well. It promotes developing nation, because see, there are different countries, for example, developed nations, the nations which has already developed economically, right? But there are developing and underdeveloped countries which are on a verge of development, right? So what WTO does is that it makes such policies so that underdeveloped and developing countries also gets a chance to come in the forefront. Next is it stimulates the economic growth. That is, it has been written here that it increases exports, foreign exchange earnings as well as employment. Not only this, it reduces the trade discriminations as well by ensuring the most favored nation tag or national treatment principle. So these are few of the principles that are being mentioned in this. But with this, WTO also faces many criticism. For example, often it has been criticized for favoring the developed nations. Often it limits the space for domestic industries to boom up. Often it makes such policies where the environmental or labor issues are ignored in few matters. But there is a situation in which often WTO is criticized for the fact that it is criticized that they put many stringent measures over underdeveloped countries, है ना? For example, they will not be allowing the sale of any products which has been made by a child labor, right? And so the condition for developed countries is different, but if you can see the condition for underdeveloped countries, that will be absolutely different now. Right, so that is something that they don't take care of. Right, next is dispute settlement can often become slow and complex in this case of WTO. So this was all about the discussion that in which we have discussed that what is the role that the WTO plays in international trade. So this is all about it. Thank you for the discussion.